Good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, sir.
Are you hearing my voice?
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Very good
Yes,
afternoon.
sir.
How are you all?
Fine, sir.
Fine, sir.
You?
Yeah. Okay. So how many are there today? Today also the same number, right? Any newcomer today?
Yes.
Any new member joined today? Today's meeting?
No, sir.
No?
No.
All are the yesterday students only, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Okay. So we already covered certain things regarding the syllabus and also about the papers. Okay. So again, I will show you the papers what you have, nearly 5 papers you have, and I will give you some short introduction, and then we'll move to our introduction to our syllabus, fourth paper, right? So fourth paper is
Ancient
civilization,
civilization.
right?
Ancient
So,
civilization.
yeah, this is my paper, Ancient Civilizations, fourth A, which having the four modules. And the first module itself, yesterday we covered a general introduction. And today, again, we'll see the general introduction on the ancient civilization, remaining the third modules, right? So before going to our discussion today, just share my screen about this syllabus, and I am sharing all the papers of your portions, right? This is the same syllabus you may follow up to the fourth sem. Any certain circumstances has taken place regarding the syllabus, any changes or modifications, we will update you, right? But what I sharing the syllabus is, you definitely maybe you follow up to the fourth semester. Okay, before that, I will share my screen and students, are you getting my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, see, this is the papers of your first semester. Yesterday we already discussed, and
Yes.
once again we'll see, right? So you have the 5 papers. Paper 1, History of India from earliest time to 1206, deals by uh, dealt by Dr. Harshankar. Already he given a general introduction on this. Second one is World History, 1453 to 1871, and which is the second paper, which is carried by Dr. Julu Nageshwar, and third paper, History and Culture of Telangana from earliest time to 1724, which is also carried by Dr. Julu Nageshwar, and fourth paper, it is 104A, which is Ancient Civilizations, which is the paper which is carried by me, and 105A, Tourism and Culture, which is dealt by Dr. Harshankar, right? So these are the 5 papers you have. Apart from these, you have to uh, go through with a seminar presentation after end of your semester. Okay, so in the end of your each semester, you have to present your seminar, right? So we already discussed about this seminar paper yesterday. Once again, I'll give you about the seminar paper. The seminar paper, which is about 25 marks. Okay. So apart from the 500 marks, which is carried by these 5 papers, what you have, along with these 5 papers, you have a seminar presentation. Okay. So the seminar presentation is for 25 marks, and within the, please unmute your audio, please unmute your audios. Sorry, mute your audios. Mute your audios, please. Some disturbance is taking place. Please mute your audios once. Yeah, right. So along with the 5 papers, you have one seminar presentation. You have to present the seminar on the end of your semester. Okay, before your end semester exams, right? So this seminar presentation carries 25 marks, which is having the 2 parts. One is the written up, and the write up is for 15 marks, and the presentation is the 10 marks. Okay. So you have to choose one concept or any aspect from the syllabus of your 5 papers, and you have to write up to the 10 pages, and the same thing you have to present before all of your fellow mates, and the same which is carried by the 10 marks. Okay, so totally is 25 marks. Okay, so overall end semester exams, not overall, every semester which carries 525 marks. Okay, so the things we already covered yesterday, and we'll move to our syllabus, general introduction on our syllabus, paper 4A, ancient civilizations, right? Okay, so this is ancient civilizations, 4th A, where we are covering nearly 5 to 6 ancient civilizations which developed in world. Okay, so yesterday itself we discussed about the first module, definition of culture and civilization. Okay, so how you define the culture and civilization, what is civilization and what is culture. You already you covered certain things in your earlier classes. Okay, so it may be from the +2 standard and in your graduation, you already covered all those things. Okay, so about the culture and the civilization, and both culture and civilization have certain similar things. Okay, so you have certain features, common features within it. Okay, so every territory or every region or every area had its own culture, and the civilization is itself having number of cultures, because the civilization itself covering with number of races, right? So each race had its own culture, right? So it may be in culture you find certain features like materialistic and non-materialistic aspects or features. Okay, so like non-materialistic, like the language, and also language, literature, and also dress habits, food, other styles of things which comes under this non-materialistic. And when you see the materialistic, like food habits, and the material what they use, and the dress styles, like art and architecture, all those things which comes under these materialistic things. Okay, so this combination of materialistic and non-materialistic things which comes under this culture. Okay, so combinedly we call as these cultural aspects of a particular region or territory or a race or a civilization sometimes. Okay, okay, so where the civilization is the thing, all these cultural aspects you find. Okay, so all these cultural aspects you find within a one platform. Within a platform is the platform is nothing but a civilization. Okay, civilization is combination of various races and number of people who are living in a particular area. Okay, so the civilization had certain influence of these geographical aspects, also geographical features. Okay, because the civilization may develop in and around of various geographical features or geographical locations. Okay, so it may develop besides of any river banks or foothills of any particular mountains or like that. So these civilization may develop in any geographical location. Okay, so within the geographical location, particular civilization had number of races. Okay, you cannot find any single race in a civilization. Okay, number of races you find, right? So all these things which we covered under this culture and civilization, and we'll see in a detailed manner while we'll going with this civilization, particularly from each module. Okay, so and also we covered about the Mesopotamian civilization, general introduction on Mesopotamian civilization, which is under the module 1 yesterday, right? So today we are going to see about the second module, which is about Egyptian civilization. Okay, so we have to cover the ancient Greece and Rome in the third module, and we have to cover the ancient China and Indus Valley civilization in the fourth module. Okay, so today we'll see about other three civilizations today have a general introduction. Okay, so after general introduction, we'll see particularly about these civilization in a detailed manner, right? So today we are going to see about this module 2 about Egyptian civilization. Okay, so you are well known about Egypt. Egypt is a northern, which is located in the northernmost part of this South Africa continent. Okay, African continent, not South African. It's a northernmost part of African continent, which is adjoining to Red Sea on one side and Mediterranean Sea on the other side. Okay, so which is also adjoined with Sahara Desert, one of the biggest deserts in the world. Okay, so like this Egyptian civilization, which is had a number of physical features, and one more thing, a important river Nile, which is flowing exactly in middle of this Egypt civilization from north to south. Okay, so this Nile may be called as Egyptian civilization is called as the gift of Nile. Okay, because the Nile is one of the longest river in the world, and which is mostly dividing the whole Egyptian civilization into the two parts, west and east. Okay, so where the number of nomes which developed, nomes in the sense number of provinces. Okay, so the provinces will see about these nomes while going with the political conditions of this Egyptian civilization. Okay, so where the nomes are nothing but like a provinces, where nearly 42 nomes you find in the whole all over this Egyptian civilization, and all those 42 nomes which are combinedly which is developed later into a kingdom. Okay, so you are well known about when you heard about the civilization, Egyptian civilization, you definitely know about the pyramids. Okay, so pyramids are great contribution of the Egyptian civilization, and among this Giza pyramid, which is the largest pyramid in the world, which is a important pyramidical structures you will see in this Egyptian civilization. Okay, so these pyramids were constructed in the memory of various pharaohs. Okay, pharaoh in the sense those nothing but the rulers of Egyptian. Okay, Egypt rulers. Okay, so Egypt rulers are called with the name called the pharaoh, and in memory of each pharaoh, the certain pyramids are constructed. Okay, so pyramids also a great a triangular structures, largest triangular structures which is constructed during the time of ancient Egypt by the pharaohs. Okay, so apart from these, we also see various political aspects, particularly about these ruling of the pharaohs. Okay, so these ruling of pharaohs may be divided into nearly 50, approximately 50 pharaohs were ruled ancient Egypt. And these 50, ruling of these 50 pharaohs may be divided into the three phases. Okay, so one phase we call as the ancient pharaohs ruling, and middle pharaohs ruling, and imperial or new kingdom we call it as. Okay, likewise in the three phases we divide the ruling of these pharaohs. Okay, and we also see the contribution of various pharaohs. Okay, so here you find a number of pharaohs like Hatshepsut, one of the women pharaoh who ruled Egyptian civilization. Okay, along with Hatshepsut, Amenhotep, many pharaohs you find, and we also see their contribution. Okay, so apart from this, we also discuss about the society basically. Okay, so every civilization and every society had certain divisions. Okay, so here also in the Egyptian civilization, you also find certain division in the society, right? So the society division lower, middle, and upper class. Okay, so in the lower class, you'll find certain types of slaves. Okay, so slavery is one of the aspect you find in the Egyptian civilization, and along with the slaves, the lower class people who are not having, who didn't have any land and right on the land, which are like a agricultural labor, who find in the lower class. When you see the upper class, pharaohs and their royal families, which were comes under this upper class. Okay, so in the middle, all the occupation based communities will comes under the middle class. Okay, so likewise certain roughly certain division you find in the society of Egyptian civilization. When you see the economy of the Egyptian civilization may be divided into uh, this agricultural and non-agricultural economy. Okay, so the agricultural economy, which is based on totally on the agriculture, and non-agriculture economy, which is a contribution of trade and commerce. Okay, so this Egyptian territory, which is adjoining with two important rivers, one is the Mediterranean and next one is Red Sea, where this Mediterranean Sea, which is they entered in the other bank of this Mediterranean Sea. Through that, they may enter in other civilizations like the Greece and Roman civilizations and Mesopotamia sometimes. Okay, so through the Red Sea also on other side they also entered in this civilization. Likewise, these Egyptian civilization had a better external relations with the other civilizations of world at the time. Okay, so when you see in Red Sea, they also followed seaborne trade. They also followed certain biblas like the boats which is made with the biblas. Those these biblas boats you generally find in the Red Sea, and you find one island in the Red Sea is nothing but the Punta Island. Okay, so Punta Island, which is also called as Divine Island at the time, where number of gold deposits you find in the Punta Island, and this Punta Island is center of attraction at that time. And from the Punta Island, these Biblas boats will go through the various other parts of the world at that time. Okay, so these are the things you have to cover. And during the agricultural pattern, they also followed certain irrigation facilities, and they provided uh, particularly Persian wheel like structure. Okay, so Persian wheel, which is one of the implement they use to drag the water from the below to the upper. Okay, so where the which the Persian wheel they generally call as the sadaf. Okay, so sadaf is a implement like the Persian wheel, where they used this implement to pour water from the below to their fields. Okay, so apart from this setup, they also use certain irrigated canals to they provide water to those particular fields at that time. Okay, so and every civilization also you find the religion, and here also you find a certain religion. Okay, so within the religion, uh, uh, they treat these pyramids as a temples sometimes. Okay, so and they also treat some of the pharaohs as their god and goddesses. Okay, so apart from the general god and goddesses you find, they also patronized these pharaohs as a gods at that time. Okay, so because in the pyramids, any pyramid which is belongs to a particular pharaoh, and his all things what they used, what certain association with him, all these things are kept in those particular pyramid, and that pyramid they treat as a holy place. Okay, so likewise, many religious aspects you find in the Egyptian civilization, and also when you see the art and architecture and scientific contribution, and art and architecture, the construction of Huge pyramid is a great architecture at that time. Okay, so and within the pyramids, inside of the pyramids, the walls of the pyramids, which is painted with various animal and human and flora and fauna figurines. Okay, so and certain paintings you also find, and the roof of particular pyramids, which is covered with a marble. Okay, so it in various the marble with various colors. Okay, likewise, certain art and architecture also you find, particularly in the scientific knowledge. They had various knowledge on these astronomical things, particularly about the lunar and solar eclipse, and by the uh, by the uh, by the uh, um, by the rotation of the moving of this particular moon, based on the moving of the moon, they can celebrate some occasions also. Okay, so like certain scientific knowledge they had. Okay, so when you see in the third module, ancient, you have to see about ancient Greece and Rome. Okay, so before going to these ancient Greece and Rome, you have to see the various geographical features. Okay, so ancient Greeks were a practical-minded people, and Rome. The people of the Rome were very active, and they had certain they created certain miracles in the political conditions. Okay, so because due to this ancient people of the ancient and Rome, ancient Greece and Rome, yet in the current political scenario, you have many elements we are taken from this ancient Greek and Rome. Okay, so where ancient Greeks were practical minded, where they mostly uh, depend on their they depend on the education particularly, and in the Rome also, the people of the Rome, which is mainly depend on the teachers of the ancient Greece. Okay, so where these Rome and Greek had great intellectual knowledge, and many historians and political scientists you find from these both ancient civilizations only. Okay, like Machiavelli and Herodotus, a great historian, Thucydides, a historian, and Aristotle, like various intellectual class you'll find from these ancient Greece and Rome civilizations. Okay, so and these civilization we'll see. from the geographical features, and what are the things which influenced these geographical features and influenced these region of ancient Greece and Rome. Okay, so and then we'll see about ancient society of the Rome and Greek, and here also you find certain divisions, where here also you find certain slavery in it, and the lower section was the slaves, and the purchase and sale of slavery, slave is common phenomena in the ancient Greece and Rome, and such elites, called as elite, is a certain section of the slave, where these elites were used as a targets for while showing or while giving military training to their children in ancient Greece, basically. Okay, so amphitheater is one of the architectural contribution of these ancient Greece. Amphitheater, which is like a modern stadiums you find in the ancient Greece, which is the amphitheaters are which is they used only for these gladiator shows. Okay, so gladiator shows in the sense where the number of heroes who had their military training, they had a fight with hungry lions, and sometimes they had shoot these elite, a section of the slaves in those amphitheaters. Okay, so like various contributions you find from these ancient Greece. Okay, so here also the upper and lower division is you find in both ancient and Greece civilization, ancient Rome and Greece civilization. Okay, and when you see the political condition, here the this is the first both are the first civilizations where you find a concept of city states. Okay, so city state concept you see only from the ancient Greece and Rome, right. So Athens, Sparta, such city states you find. Okay, so city states are certain individual states, provinces you find, and where certain autonomous government you find. Okay, so every city state had their own ruler, and their own administration they followed, and you find nearly 10 to 12 city states in the ancient Greece and also Rome. Okay, so sometimes within these city states there are certain conflicts has taken place. Okay, so according to Thucydides, who wrote a text on particularly these southern part of ancient Greece city states, where they had a frequent conflicts with them. Okay, so regarding these fights, among these southern city states, you'll find through the writings of Thucydides, right? So, and apart from these, you also see Greco-Persian wars. Okay, so Persia territories are just adjoining to these Greece, so that they had certain frequent conflicts within these Greek and Persian territories sometimes. Okay, so and we'll see about the Greek language, literature, art, and architecture, and we also see about certain philosophers. Okay, so certain philosophers like here with the philosophical thinking of this ancient Rome and Greece, we may divide into one or two phases, like before Socrates and Socrates times and after the Socrates. Okay, so before the Socrates you find one or two philosophers, and within the Socrates time you also find Socrates and other intellectual class, which is had certain philosophical contribution from them. Okay, so and likewise the philosophical philosophy of this ancient Greece maybe will divide into the three phases. Okay, so then we'll see about the literature and art and architecture. And within the art and architecture, amphitheater is a great contribution of the Roman Greece, ancient Greek people. And apart from these, many water pipelines also you find within the ancient Greece, where the public bath was a main feature in the ancient Greece. Okay, so and where they are given a much importance to health and hygiene, where you find a number of qualified physicians at that time, and they had idea on about 500 disease at that time, and they had certain their idea on the treatment for those particular diseases at that time. Okay, so they had the idea of these various diseases and for their and certain treatment to them. Okay, so and apart from these, there are certain science and technology you find within the ancient Rome and Greece, and where you also see various Roman kings, and we also see various things regarding the establishment of Rome. Okay, the Rome which is established in and around 753 BC. Okay, so by Romulus and Remu, two brothers who had a contribution or initiated to develop a city on the banks of river Tiber. Okay, so Tiber is one of the river which flows in the territories of the Rome. Okay, so the Rome is a city which is constructed on the river bank of the Tiber. Okay, by the Remu and Romulus, a young princess at that time. Okay, so apart from these Remu and Romulus, and we'll see about various rulers who ruled ancient Greece and Rome, and all those things we'll see in this uh, um, module. Okay, so these are, and finally we see the society, language, literature, and art and architecture. Finally, we see fall of Roman Empire within this module 3, right? So this is about a general introduction on the module 2 and 3, and we have only less than 1 minute of the time, and it may be disconnected within this minute. So we'll see the general introduction on the fourth module about ancient China and Indus Valley civilization in the next class, right? Dear students, are you hearing? Students, are you hearing?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Hearing,
sir.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Regarding my lecture, you have any problem?
Papa,
Problem?
No problem,
Doubts
sir.
or anything? You
Next
can.
time చేపించు.
No, sir.
నా దగ్గర చాలా పాటలు
Okay.
ఉన్నాయి. ఇచ్చేస్తా
So,
ఫ్రీగా.
పొడుగైపోతాయి